Hey guys, so in this video, I'm going to be comparing this VPN right here, ExpressVPN, NordVPN, and Surfshark. Now you may or may not have heard of these, but these are probably three of the most promoted and most popular VPNs out there. So in this video, I'm going to go through exactly what they have in common and what's different between them in order so that you can decide for yourself which one might be the best for you. Now, if you're not familiar with exactly how this works, a VPN, which stands for Virtual Private Network, does basically two main things. Firstly, it can make it seem as if you're somewhere else in the world when you're using the internet. So here with ExpressVPN, for example, we would just go to this location bar and then a window pops up with a bunch of different countries, and a lot of them have arrows with different cities within the country. And if I just click on one of these here, let's say the United States right there, and then you're going to see that it's going to connect. And now I'm connected up to a server in the United States in New Jersey. And that means that regardless of where I physically am in the world, any website I visit is going to think that I'm in the United States and that I'm in New Jersey. So this allows you to stay more anonymous when you're using the internet, and it also allows you to access content or different websites that may only be available in certain parts of the world. On top of that, the second thing a VPN does is it keeps your data and information more protected, right? Just like changing your location keeps you more anonymous. Part of that is that the new connection being formed is actually more secure than a regular internet connection, and it keeps your data and your personal information safe from any hackers or anybody who might want to see what you're doing, like different government agencies or other organizations. So for example, let's say you were on a school network that does not allow you to access the Onion or Tor network. With NordVPN, you can just go right here to specialty servers, Onion over VPN, and that will actually connect you to the VPN and then over to the Tor network. So it uses the VPN to hide the fact that you're connecting to the Tor network. And that's just one way that a VPN can keep what you're doing online more private and hidden. One of the most important things when it comes to privacy and security in a VPN is its no logs policy. And the reason for that is because a VPN hides what you're doing online from any outsiders, but technically the VPN itself can still see what you're doing online. And therefore, if a government agency would go and ask the VPN or request from a VPN for those records, they might have it. And that has happened in the past. There are VPNs that do keep logs of what their users do. A lot of free VPNs do that. But if you really want to stay safe online, then you want to get a VPN that has a no logs policy, a verified no logs policy, where outside companies have come and audited the VPN and made sure that they really don't keep logs. So for example, right here, ExpressVPN, they have several different audits by KPMG and PwC in order to ensure that not even ExpressVPN themselves knows what you're doing online. Surfshark also has a no logs policy. So all three of these top level VPNs have a verified no logs policy. And then in terms of countries, all three of these VPNs have 100+ countries you can choose from. So with NordVPN, it's 118. With ExpressVPN, it'll be 105. And with Surfshark, you have 100 countries to choose from. So all three of these have a lot of different countries to choose from in order to access different content. And they also have a verified no logs policy in order to keep your data safe. Now, I've tested all of these VPNs in a few different areas. For example, streaming content. So on Netflix or Prime Video, allowing you to access different content libraries in different parts of the world, because no streaming service offers the same thing in every single country. There will be some movies and TV shows that you can only get in certain parts of the world. And I've tried out these VPNs with a lot of the most popular streaming services like Netflix, Prime, Hulu, Disney+, and I found that all three of them were able to get me access to content from different countries, and I was able to get a good quality and a good speed. Speaking of speed, I have done speed tests for all of these VPNs, and I found that they do decrease your speed by a little bit. That should be expected. A VPN does slow down the connection, but in most cases, it wasn't really even noticeable, particularly with ExpressVPN. They have a new feature called Lightweight Turbo. I'll show you that right here, powered by Lightweight Turbo. I believe that as of now, this is only available on the Windows application. Hopefully it will be coming to more platforms soon. It's a newer feature that has really boosted the speed of ExpressVPN. I've also recently been getting really good speed with Surfshark. NordVPN is generally very fast as long as you make sure that you're connected up to the VPN protocol called NordLynx. I'm not going to go too much in this video about Nord links and a lot of these technical details of the VPNs. If you want to find out more about that, I will have a link to in-depth how-to videos for all 3 of these VPNs that will go into these details. That'll be in the description below, along with a lot of other useful information. But in short, if you're set with VPN protocol Nord links, then you will generally get very good speeds with NordVPN as well. Personally, right now, I don't know, maybe it's just my internet connection, I haven't been getting as fast speeds with Nord. Another area that I have tested these VPNs out is in terms of gaming. If you want to go on Steam and access different video games from different parts of the world, these VPNs have allowed me to do that. In particular, with Call of Duty, they were able to get me easier bot lobbies. And with torrenting, if you torrent, you probably know that there is personal information that's released on the torrent network. But if you're using a VPN, like one of these 3, then you will have that information protected and kept anonymous while at the same time retaining a fast download speed. So now that I've gone into the main features of these VPNs and what they have in common, let's talk a little bit about where they differ and how they are not the same from each other, the things that are different between them. So firstly, with ExpressVPN, okay, this is a VPN that is designed to be the best pure VPN. That's the way I like to call it. And that means that they're invested in trying to make the VPN itself as good as possible. They want you to be able to connect up to different countries quickly. So you can see right here, let's say with the Netherlands, I can just click on that and it literally takes an instant and I'm connected up to another server. It's really just super quick. They have these shortcuts right here. And a lot of what happens with ExpressVPN is behind the scenes. So there's a lot going on in the background with Express in order to, let's say, hide the fact that you're using a VPN, in order to make sure that the connection is super safe and really no hackers are going to be able to get through this connection. They're using some very secure technology. There's a lot going on with Express behind the scenes. Up front, the VPN itself is very simple. There are some features. If you go over here to the options, you have some advanced protection features like a tracker blocker, malicious sites, ads, adult sites. You do have those protocols, like I mentioned before. The fastest and the best, in my opinion, is generally going to be lightweight UDP with lightweight turbo. If you have it, you can always just go with automatic and it'll pick the best one for you. You can set those shortcuts, but overall, it's pretty standard. They have a network lock and split tunneling. A network lock, this is what's called a kill switch in other VPNs, and it basically cuts off your internet connection if the VPN ever stops working. So that's very good if you want to ensure that you're always connected to the internet together with the VPN. Split tunneling allows you to choose exactly what you want connected to the VPN itself. You don't necessarily have to have every application that you're using connected to the VPN. You can choose. Those are pretty standard features on every decent VPN. And with ExpressVPN, they come along as well. But there's really nothing too major, nothing too flashy. It is just a simple, really good, very solid VPN, and it excels at just that. And personally, because of that focus and the simplicity of it and just how well it functions, this is my own favorite VPN. This is the one that I use on a daily basis. In contrast, NordVPN and Surfshark have a very different philosophy. With NordVPN, you're going all out. It's not just a VPN. This is a full-on piece of software. There's a lot of different things going on with NordVPN, way too much for this video, but just for some examples, like I showed you before, you have Onion over VPN that connects you up to the Tor network. You have P2P servers, which are optimized for torrenting, Double VPN that connects you up to 2 different servers before getting you over to the internet. You have add-ons like Threat Protection Pro, which is a mini antivirus, and you have even more stuff over here. So there's just a lot to NordVPN. This isn't just a VPN. This is a lot more than that. It's pretty much a whole bunch of different tools for getting increased security online. It's also, I would say, the most customizable VPN. If you go into the settings over here, there is just a lot of different settings and options that you have in order to be able to customize exactly how you want this VPN to work. And they do this to a much greater extent than most other VPNs. So that's really the difference, in my opinion, between ExpressVPN and NordVPN. Now, where does Surfshark fall into the picture? I would say that Surfshark is somewhere in between Nord and Express. It definitely has more features than ExpressVPN. A lot of it is actually similar to NordVPN. For example, multi-hop is like the double VPN feature I just showed you in NordVPN, connecting you up to 2 different locations. They also have add-ons like a mini antivirus over here. and a few other different add-ons as well. So there definitely is more here than just a VPN, like I said, but it's not quite as advanced as NordVPN. So it's somewhere in the middle between Express and Nord. That's how I would break it down. I would say that if you just want a pure VPN, probably the best VPN itself. You know what I mean? That's what I would say. If you just want to change your location, make it seem as if you're somewhere else in order to access different content, but at the same time have a very secure and private connection, go with Express. If you want that, but you also want other features on top of that, then I would say go with Nord. And if you want somewhere in between, you want a decent VPN and maybe a little bit of nice features and add-ons as well, then I would recommend Surfshark. So that's my comparison and contrast for these 3 top-level VPNs. If you want to try them out, then I will have more information and discount links in the description that will save you some money regardless of which one you choose to try out. Let me know which one you like the most in the description below. I hope this video helped you out. Thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one.